What's up guys, welcome back to Diving Garage. It's finally time to get Hank's new transmission installed. Let's dive in. The first thing I'm gonna do is get the converter on. There are 2 sets of splines you gotta match up. And then once you do that, you're not done. You have to make it go one more click farther to get the pump engaged. So if you just line up the splines, think you're done, you gotta keep going. Otherwise you'll get it all bolted up and then you'll find that you have no line pressure and you got no shift, and that'll defeat the purpose of the entire thing we're doing here. That's pretty straightforward. Take your time, don't rush it. Make sure you don't mess this up. All right, so I got the transmission test fitted in. Obviously no transfer case, just to make it a little easier on myself. But it's fully seated all the way forward. It's on the pins. I don't have the bolts in there right now, but because I wanted to see where this crossmember was gonna line up. And if you look down here, you can see just how far we've moved back. That TH400 is quite a bit longer than the TH350, so we'll drill some new holes, no big deal. It's looking good. You know, it fits fine. I don't really foresee any issues. This is where the vacuum modulator is on the 400s over here on the side. Got my lines kicked out there. Again, we're going AN lines. I got those sitting in the garage. And this is gonna be a lot easier to hook up before, because on the TH350, it's back here and it's hard to see, it's hard to get to. So that'll be a lot better. But overall, so far so good. No snags yet. All right, so the few things you want to make sure you do in order. So this is one of them. You want to make sure you got these bolts torqued down, and then once you want to make sure you put a gasket right here. I got a new gasket, and then you want to make sure you torque down all of your transfer case bolts that go in this way. So once you put up the transfer case, these are gone. So make sure you torque these down first, and these are going to 40 pounds. And as you can see, there are 2 shiny ones. That's because the TH350 only uses 4 bolts here, as where the 400 uses 6. I don't know whose idea this was to get this thing on the asphalt. Oh, I knew it. Dropped it. Awesome. Awesome. Don't worry, I didn't forget. Right before we're gonna put this torque converter in for the final time and get the transmission mated up to the engine, fill up your torque converter. You can't hear it. There's a ton of air coming out of there. You don't want that air in your lines while you're trying to get this thing going. You're starting up a new transmission, you want it to have line pressure, have fluid pressure kind of right away. So good way to do that, make sure your converter's full. And these things take a lot. All right, it's dark. You know how sometimes you say things and they sound easy? Well, we got issues, check it out. So I might have dropped it a little, a lot. Yeah, so current situation is not good at all. But I think I can salvage this and get it in there. I will bring you back in a minute. Is this better? Nope, not better. Try again. All right, y'all, it is much later. So you know, sometimes things get serious and you need to put the camera down, focus on what you're doing. This was one of those times. So the transmission is in. I got it bolted up to the engine and crossrunner bolted up to the frame. Let's go check it out. All right, y'all, this thing is officially in there. You know, that was quite the challenge getting in, and I don't know if I was totally right to try and balance off of this cross member. Maybe I should have just went for the pan. I don't know, but regardless, it's in there. So when I went to go to put these 2 bolts in, these 2 holes line up just fine, but those 2 holes did not. So I had to drill 2 more holes. You know, I never claimed to be a straight A student, but we got it done. All right, and also one thing I did was I got AN lines hooked up, the vacuum modulator hooked up, and like I said, it's all bolted up there. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go check out the flex plate to torque converter clearance. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna be trying measuring that distance right there. This is super important. I know on the channel I kind of shortcut a lot of things and do things probably improper, but this is one thing you want to make sure to get right. So this is pretty easy. All you need, this is the way I'm going to do it, you just need a feeler gauge stack, and all you have to do is make sure your holes lined up on the pad there. You just stick this in there. You want to feel some resistance, and that feels pretty decent right there. And then all you do after that, you just get a caliper and you measure it. What we're looking for is an 1/8 to 3/16. So in this case, it's good to go. I already checked it. But if yours is too big, what you need to do is get a washer and just make up the distance. So if you have like a, I don't know, like a 1/2 inch or something, that's too much. You can't just yank this thing forward to meet the flex plate and expect everything to work. You can only come forward so much before you're out of the pump. So like I said, in this case, we're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and bolt it up and move on. One thing I also did is I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade this hardware to grade 10. And this is M10, I think by 1.5 and 20 millimeters. So I know I complained about it being metric in the last video, but in this case, I'm doing it to myself on purpose. That little thing for the win. I forgot I had that. All right, so I just put 4 quarts in. It needs 6, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it on, run it for a bit, and then I'll add the other 2, make sure I get the right levels. You don't wanna be too little fluid, you don't have too much. All right, we are just about ready. I got the transmission filled up, transfer case filled up. It's not a huge problem. Engine's good to go. Just put some gas, and I think that is about it. Oh, one other thing I wanna show you. So over here, on the transmission lines, I hooked up a little port gauge, and right now I'm just going to run a pressure gauge, and so that way I can see how much pressure is being put out. But in the future, I'll put a temperature sensor there. But I just wanted to make sure everything's working, so that'll be at least one clue, one indicator, because otherwise you can't really see what's going on. Okay, so let's get this thing fired up. And did I mention that I didn't install the exhaust? So this is going to be loud. And I think it hasn't been started in months, so this will probably be kind of tough too. All right, here we go. Ooh, all right, it's been so long, I forgot how my truck worked. Got some switches over there, someone over here. Now, here we go. Ooh, battery's low. This will probably be tough. All right, there's fuel pump. All right, let me turn this off. All right, looks like we got a leaking line. Let's get that fixed now before anything else. And I don't know if it's just loose or what. Let me, oops, over here, sorry, it's this one. Let me see if I can get this figured out right quick. All right, leak found. That might do it. Okay, leak fixed. I'm gonna have to redo this return line at some point. It's not really in good shape. All right, otherwise I think we're good to go. I'm gonna clean up some of this garbage real quick and go fire it up. All right, here we go. Let's give it a couple shots here. Much of nothing so far. Oh no, losing the starter. All right, so I was just checking through things to see why it wasn't starting. Check this out. What the heck? That might do it. All right, we're back. We got the battery charged up. We got fuel leak fixed, distributor cap on. I think this should work. Laughing gas ready to go. Let's give it a rip. in months. We're going. We got some sort of pressure. Okay. Tank told us it responds to RPM, which is good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and check it on the dip. I'm trying to set you up right there. If I don't get you on this camera, I'll get you on the GoPro. Still be able to hear me. We'll throw in a couple quarts of transmission fluid and see if I can not dump it all over the running engine. That'd be great. Oh, that pickup right there. That gauge I put in is spiking out. Probably hit 30 psi. Check it again. Oh, I just dumped fluid everywhere up and around. What a dummy! Like crazy. Here we go, reverse. Neutral. Seems to be a little bit of load on the engine. Drive. Second. Reverse. There we go. Engine dialing down. Second. Drive. Neutral. Reverse park. Alright, that's a good sign. When I throw it in the gear, the engine idles down. And neutral, idle up. Drive, idle down. Yeah, buddy, we're doing good. I'm gonna do this a couple more times. I'm gonna check the fluid again. Alright, we got no drive shaft, so it's in reverse right now. I'm gonna see if I can go see the shaft spinning. Yeah, you see it? All right, there's one. Let's take the other one. Come on, big money, big money. Where is it? I can't see it. There it is. All right. That's awesome. We have a working transmission, folks. Huge shout out to the guys over at Cyclone. Oh, I'm so pumped. All right, neutral. Give Hank a go to sleep rev. All right, man, that was awesome. Woo! Oh man, that was loud even with those headphones on. Sheesh. All right, guys, we did it. So we have no drive shafts for a reason. Unfortunately, I went to try to put them in, and one's too short, one's too long. The rear is a little bit too long, probably about 2.5, 3 inches. So the front is ridiculously too short, probably like 2.5, maybe 3 inches too short, which makes sense because the whole transmission is about 3 inches longer. Anyway, guys, I need to get the drive shaft figured out. I probably won't do a video on that. I'll just get them sent off, get them fixed up, and then get them installed and try to take this thing for a ride. But that's it for this video. If you liked the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, get out there and dive in your next project. Catch you next time.